Growing up seeing that and now seeing that relationship now, I don't want anything to do with that.
I would say most people are less happier, and I don't think it's been a good thing for
I want to
us at
share a
all.
perspective on that because my grandparents, they got married when, like, they met in high school. They got married right out of high school. They had my mother right away, and they did not, like, my grandmother stayed home until my mom was in, like, she was a teenager, and then she decided, okay, I should probably, it might be a good idea to work, get some skills, do something. So this is the first time she ever worked, in her entire life was in her, 30s. What I've seen of that, and they very much, I mean, it was the traditional family. It really was. And my grandfather worked, and he, my grandmother went into, like, just like nursing, very, very traditional. And, I growing up seeing that and now seeing that relationship now, I don't want anything to do with that. In fact, I think that actually is a problem that has affected, because what I've seen now happen with them is now, like, for example, my grandfather can't even work a microwave on his own because of my grandmother. And my grandmother cannot, like, there's certain things like my grandmother cannot do either. And now they are so interdependent on the other that if one died, I don't know what the other one would do. Like, there's such an interdependence that was created that, like, for example, my grandmother and I don't really get along, and I don't like to have a relationship with her because of just the very abusive things that she's done and says. But my grandfather, who I love and am very, very close with, and I've never had any issues with, he refuses to have a relationship with me because I won't have one with my grandmother. So it's things like that where it's like they're not even allowing themselves to have even individual thought, to even be their own individual sense of self with their own, because it kills my grandfather that he doesn't have a relationship with me. That kills him. But he won't do it because he's too proud, because he wants to appease his wife, which in a way you can say that's, kind of beautiful that they're so connected to each other. But at the same time too, like, what about what he needs? And why can't she support him with that? So it's just like, to me, seeing the traditional family pan out in that way to a level of such codependency and inability to have any sense of thought and ability to have your own views. That's my experience with the traditional family.